everyone, my name is Tiffany. Welcome back or welcome to my channel. This is the start of a readathon vlog. For the romance readathon this year, it is Phantom of the Opera themed. This is put on by Maggie from Maggie's Books and Stuff. I'm very excited. It's already been fun. We've gotten challenges, okay, mail from the Phantom. This is a month-long readathon and I just want to get into it. I hope you've already seen the B-roll of me starting my first read for this, and I kind of just want to get into it. I'm gonna dig around in my carry-on and find the book. Hold on a second. Voila, it's here. I am filming on my phone. Again, I'm in the car at the airport, and I just want to say that this is hitting, baby. This is so freaking good. I went in knowing that it was monstrous. It was sort of a cozy horror sapphic. This felt like it was gonna be a mashup of genres that I couldn't quite put my finger on. I do have a bookish goal to discern what my taste is in another genre, so I immediately picked this up. I am absolutely loving it. It's phenomenal. The prose are cutting. We are following a monstrous heroine. I would just say read the first chapter of this. If there is a sample out there, get your hands on it, because I do love that this does lean purple, but I love the perspective of our monstrous because it does feel like horror. It's gory. It goes into detail as to how she's devouring her prey, but really just aiming to stay alive. And I love all of the commentary on humanity from a monstrous perspective, because it does depict us as quite monstrous ourselves. Yet we have the audacity, and I'm saying we as humans, to hunt her. And so this is turning out to be a story about, or a sapphic, really sweet. It's so sweet. Even though there are darker elements, she's falling for the very person that aims to kill her and to cure a family curse. I don't feel comfortable saying anything more than that, but I am loving this. And I am currently on my way to go meet Monique. I don't know if you know her. She did the beautiful painting on my shelves. I will insert footage. That was one of my favorite videos that I've done this year. I am meeting her and my brother for Dan downtown at Fremont. So I'm headed out to do that, and I will unpack this book a lot more without giving spoilers, but I'm loving it. It is my first read for the readathon. It should have been something Phantom specific, but I just went with the vibes. I went with the vibes, and I am not mad at it at all. I will be back. Hopefully this isn't too chaotic, and I'll see you when I'm more put together and I'm fed. This is turning into a car vlog on my phone. We're in the library right now. I have to return the physical copy of this. I can see why there is such a long line of people on hold for it, okay? And I was able to find it through ebook and audiobook on Libby, so I'm so happy about that. I'm going to continue on because I have made it to part 6 of the 8 within this book. And I have to say, I really enjoy the romance. I would say through the perspective of Shishenen, who is our like monstrous heroine, things kind of escalate within her mind pretty quickly, and it feels like it's happening one-sided because she's really trying to intellectualize her feelings for her draw and the lore of Homily, who is part of the family of monster hunters that aim to kill Shishenen. You know, I think that she's trying to intellectualize her feelings for Homily and intellectualize why she's so touched by her kindness and her light, Homily's inherent goodness. I won't say how, but they team up in a way, and we are on a quest of sorts, a grave one. Also, that the horror in this, I believe, is body horror when it comes to the kind of shifter that Shishenin is, which does hit the prompt for this readathon. And I'm just still floored by the writing, and also just a very cut dry into the heart of how Shishenin sees humanity. Those are really getting me. And also just trauma and the way that she is handling her connection to Homily. This also covers some pretty heavy topics like familial abuse and grief, and it's just so well written. It's also fascinating in terms of like the world building elements and the other creatures that we're finding, and it's action packed. Okay, so I'm just kind of like reeling, and I want Shishenin in Homily's corner. And I, from the beginning, although she's very difficult to kind of like latch onto Shishenin because of her perspective, she's just fierce. She is so fierce and calculating, and I just absolutely love a heroine with prowess. I'm going to call her that because this is feeling like a romance, but there are other aspects at play that I'm not going to get into because I don't want to spoil them. But I'm riveted. I'm going to continue on with the ebook and the audiobook and return this for the next person. I should just buy it. Honestly, at this point, it feels like a 5-star that I'm going to want on my shelves. Going to be cute and bury the lead. Someone you can build a nest in is 5 stars. It's going to be a favorite of the year. Oh my gosh. It is officially a romance. So run. If any of the aspects that I have been talking about are appealing or intriguing to you. Is this book grotesque in the shifting aspect? Yes. There's a lot of violence, there's a lot of death, there's a lot of gore, and there are heavy themes being discussed. But the freaking ending, I was gobsmacked, okay, by the twist, was not catching the twist. Oh my gosh. But the ending of this, it's just like ooey gooey, cuddly uddly. It really is. Like the romance in this is just so freaking sweet. I could squish them. And it is squishy. It's very clever, and I'm just, it's so good. There's so many quotables in this that just speak to the writing and how it just seamlessly wove in because it pertained to the story, not so that it could be grabbed from the page. It's just in the nature of everything that Shishenin is observing and experiencing and holding space for and trying to process in relation to Homily. It is just so freaking good. This is like fantasy, and the fantastical elements in terms of like the magic and the creatures, and just actually in terms of like what Shishenin can do was kind of like a lot to picture. I mean, it does get action packed. Like we're going there, we are questing, we are monster hunting. It's just everything. I highly recommend. I love this. I loved it. I loved it. And yes, as you have seen, I am actually on reading sprints hosted by Amber Reads Romance for the Readathon, and I've started Phantom by Greer Rivers. So happy that I picked this up. I didn't realize that I knew that this was going to have mental health representation. I just didn't know what kind. This is featuring bipolar disorder rep, and I didn't know that that was Greer Rivers' experience. The forward of this goes into her personal experience, and so I thought that that was special. Also, this has been on my shelves for so long. This copy was given to me by Charles from Books on Stereo. He got the entire series for me as a gift at the last Love in Las Vegas signing, and I'm so grateful because this is the second copy that I've owned. The first got damaged on my move here, and so I still have it on my shelves. I've met her husband. It's finally time for me to pick up this book, and this is the perfect opportunity. And I am enjoying the way that she's recasting the Phantom of the Opera elements. And so we do meet Scarlett, the heroine in the prologue, in the middle of an episode in the French Quarter. We become privy to the fact that she's an opera singer and a student at the local art school, and also she has a best friend that's been trying to take care of her. We meet our phantom hero, Soul, who I'm trying to discern if he's a part of the mafia, but it's definitely a criminal organization that he is the brains and the brawn behind. And his brother Ben, a lot of B's, is more of the public face of the criminal organization, which is fitting because Soul is described as having a mask that's like white bone covering half of his face, where his brother Ben, who is his twin, looks like he would had he not been in the accident he was in at the age of 15. We don't know what happened there, but it was a territory or sort of caught up in the rivalry of an enemy family. They definitely operate very mafia-esque. We meet him in the overture, which I do like how this is already like kind of structured. Like the title heads are very like musical and theatrical. We've got an overture. The chapters are scenes. I've made my way up to scene 6 and I've kind of seen the way in which he does business and his enemies. And also, I think it's very clever as to how they are brought into proximity and how we see that he's completely obsessed with Scarlett, her voice, her musicality. And she's afraid that she's fallen into another episode because of the secret notes that she has been receiving on very elegant letterhead from her, what is it? Demon? Like her demon of music, who she believes is helping her with her vocal instrument and like making her feel better, which is why she hasn't shared it like with her best friend or anybody. She thinks that this is all in her head, but she's enjoying it. And at this point, she's not the only one that's receiving letters. And so I do like how that's being brought into the fold. His relation to her music school, but in a part of a very prominent family that runs the quarter, still has me a bit confused. I'm not gonna lie. As well as, I'm not sure if this first scene of steam between them actually happened. And neither is the heroine. She doesn't know if she's hallucinating. I don't know if she's hallucinating. And so I'm trying to get my bearings in this. Although I do enjoy what she's trying to do with this retelling, I'm just questioning a few things as well, and I'm interested in seeing where it goes. I was under the impression or had the assumption that she was getting kidnapped in this, so I don't know. At this point, I'm just gonna keep going. There are a few logistical things that I'm kind of confused on, but I'm gonna go with it. I do like the mental health representation, and I don't think it's supposed to be clear cut and dry because he is the Phantom. So we'll see. I'm enjoying it so far. Very curious, a little confused, but hopefully that wraps up for me. And I'll be back when I've read more. And I'm finally gotten to the point where I'm like, okay, I get it. I get how he could be watching her in this way. I get who he is in his criminal organization. I'm getting a lot of clues as to like why he's scarred. And I'm feeling like I have my bearings in the book now. Because before I like how this is being written, especially when Greer Rivers goes into her bipolar episodes, the way that's written, like in the quarter, her not being able to like trust her own mind, and also the Phantom elements of like him being a secret admirer and sending her notes. Like I like how it was being set up, but I still kind of needed to get my bearings, and I feel like I have it now. So I've made a good way into it. I feel better. We're pink, nails done, hair done, everything's did, because I'm about to head out to go to a cruise with Virgin Voyages on their Valiant Lady. I will be taking you along with me, so I'm going to end this video out with 2 reads. I have finished Phantom! I'm so happy that I picked this up. This took a romantic suspense turn that I wasn't expecting, and I do believe it needed it, because I actually ended up enjoying how things kind of clicked into place. It started out with a bit of confusion, which is exactly where Scarlett, our heroine, is. And I think the strongest thing about this book is the way in which Greer Rivers depicts how Scarlett cannot trust her own mind and how scary and isolating that can be. And I also think that's also how they both relate. Soul, our phantom hero, the way that he was a phantom for not only the theater, but the French Quarter really worked for me. I definitely want to continue on with this series. This has a light captor-captive edge to it. And again, I just kind of like the mystery that unfolded because it explains why he's so obsessed with her. I mean, we get into the book and immediately we know that he's been stalking her for a while. We get a sense of that, and he's been enthralled. But I kept hanging on the need to know why beyond the fact that this is a Phantom of the Opera retelling. And this gave me that. So this worked for me. I'm rating it 4 stars. I'm going to be shifting some of my reads for the cruise, and I'm going to be taking you along with me. But I will be back to my spooky as well as shifter and white shoes picks because I am a member of the dancers. Okay, we had a great first week of the Readathon. I've been loving all of the mail and just the mastermind that Maggie is. All of the details. She's quite literally writing novels for these Readathons. I had the entire month. There's some book club books that I need to get to. So I hope you can stick around and continue to join me. Happy reading, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.